I've been on the carnivore diet for a little over a year now, and it's genuinely changed my life for the better. I've been able to build muscle, lose fat, and feel absolutely amazing on the diet. It's the clearest my skin has been. It's the most energy I've had, the most mental clarity I've had, the best sleep I've gotten. A lot of benefits have come from me just removing everything else from my diet and just eating meat and eggs. And if you told me back in 2023 or 2022, a couple of years ago, that, hey, you will in a couple of years be eating only meat and eggs and nothing else, I would be shocked and confused. And maybe you've heard about this carnivore diet before. Maybe you're newer to it, you've heard about it, and you're just like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? I remember whenever I first heard it as well, and I was skeptical. But I just want to lay out why I tried it in this video, to maybe dismiss any of the skepticism that you may feel, just to describe my experience with it, to kind of open up your mind a little bit. And that'll be kind of the meta lesson at the end of this, is just to keep an open mind, but I'll touch on that a little bit more later. But in my experience with the carnivore diet, here is how I progressed into it. So first off, I was originally eating a ton of carbs. I was eating kind of a standard bodybuilder American-esque diet, higher carbohydrates, some protein, like a decent amount of protein, because I was always kind of into more fitness stuff on this journey anyways, where I was like, oh, I need to get in more protein, okay? Ate a lot of protein. I ate a crap ton of carbs, like 300, 400 grams, and a very low to moderate amount of fat. I was probably like running like 50, 70-ish grams of fat. And that's a lot to eat, but I was also running like a crap ton. I was playing soccer. I was running track. I was doing a lot of activity. So it kind of made sense for what I was doing. And I was doing okay, to be honest. My energy was okay. I would still like crave these things and have these sugar cravings, and I would need to eat kind of consistently day over day over day to get by. But I didn't feel like awful, I guess. I still felt I was still sort of bloated all the time, and I was just used to it. My existence was pretty normal, because before that point, I was just eating more junk food. Before that point, I wasn't even trying to eat clean. I was like a chubby little kid that enjoyed his ice cream and all that stuff. And I still did enjoy my ice cream in 2022, 2023, but I was a little bit better about it. I still had some protein and whatnot. And that was just kind of how I went about my diet and fitness journey, until one day I came across this video that started talking about how if you increase your fat intake and you have more eggs, that'll increase your testosterone and make you feel better. And I decided to give this a shot, because I thought, well, whatever, like, I'm okay with that. I probably shouldn't be eating this much sugar anyways, to be honest. Like, I was eating like 100, 200 grams of sugar a day. It was insane. And I was running a decent amount, but I don't think I needed that much sugar, let's be honest. Even like, I was crushing it hard, to be honest. And I was like, okay, you know what? How about I try and just cut out the junk food completely and really reel it back and maybe increase the amount of fat that I eat. And so I experimented with that and I tried it out. So I still had some carbs in my diet, but I upped the fat intake. I had more eggs, and within 2-3 weeks of just adding in, 3, 4, 5 eggs a day, my energy started going like up. I started feeling way better. I started getting stronger. And it was really interesting to me how different that feeling was. It was like a complete step change from cutting out the ultra-processed, cutting out a lot of the ultra-processed nonsense. I was still eating some, to be fair, and just upping my fat intake just a little bit, and eating more kind of like eggs and animal products and like that, stuff like that. It was a weird step change, and that was in June of 2023 whenever I started doing that. So my carb intake dropped a little bit, and my fat intake went up just a tiny bit. And my protein also went up a little bit as well. That was a big step change for me. That was the first one. And I continued on that path until around like late 2023, early 2024, because that's whenever I first heard of this low carb carnivore kind of ideal. First, I heard about animal based, and that's what I tried to do whenever I bulked. Because in 2023, I tried to do a mass gaining phase, try and build some muscle, get jacked. And so I was eating a lot more food. I didn't run as much then, and so my calorie intake did not match or whatever, and the amount of carbohydrates I was eating, it was not a good mix. So I got fat really fast. I got hella fat. I could just gain like 8 pounds of fat in a couple of months. It was really, really bad. And it sucked. I distinctly remember one day in, I believe it was early January of 2024, I woke up and I looked in the mirror, and like I took a progress picture of myself. I was bloated. I was just watery. I felt awful. Like, I'll probably pull up the picture in editing, and like that's the one I used for before, just because I just felt so awful in that moment. I hated the way I looked. I looked at myself, I was like, what the fuck did I just do to myself for the past, 3 months? Like, what did I just do to myself? No, it was over a course of 3 months that I was just destroying my body, my physique, dude. Because I was eating a ton of this sugary fruits, and I was binging on like pasta and potatoes, because I thought, you needed carbs to bulk up. You need to eat as many carbs as possible and train hard in the gym. And, it was just a lot of poor philosophy and just not rigorous, in my opinion. It was bad. And that kind of disillusioned me with this whole idea of eating carbs to begin with, especially whenever I found the next thing after animal-based was like carnivore. Because I was willing to give up vegetables because I didn't really like vegetables that much. But fruit, even at that point, I was like, oh, I don't know. But I decided to give it a try, and just to see how it went. And so I tried it in January for a couple days, and then I went back. Then I continued on the animal-based stuff, trying to lose fat. Wasn't really working that well. Then I tried it again in February, and I felt pretty good. I tried it for like a week in February, the carnivore thing, and I felt pretty good then. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So then I went back to doing animal-based again, and then I decided, okay, in March, I'm going to try it for 2 weeks, full stop. And that's what I did. And it was a really, really interesting change, because for those first 2 weeks where I went hardcore, just like nothing, I went through all the sugar withdrawals and the carb cravings that people tend to go through whenever they go through this like keto flu sort of thing. And that really opened my eyes to the carb addiction that I was in. And it was just really interesting for me personally, because I found like, oh, I'm craving these things all of the time. And like, my energy was consistent because I was eating enough. I was making sure I was drinking enough water, getting in electrolytes, that sort of thing. I just felt different. It felt like I was like coming off of a substance, literally. Like, I felt like I was fiending for this drug, almost, this compulsion to have this substance. But fortunately, I made it through those 2 weeks, and then I was like, okay, here we are. And so in that March of 2024, a couple of things happened. After that 2 weeks, I kind of went back and forth. I was really dragging down the amount of carbs that I ate. After that point where I went 0 carb for 2 weeks, I didn't have more than like 50 grams for the rest of April. And then in May is whenever I kind of locked it down, and I've been clean ever since that point in May 2024. But those few weeks where I just tried it out, it really opened my eyes, and a lot of different things happened. One, I got pretty lean comparatively. Like, I didn't lose all of my body fat immediately. I made a couple of mistakes, obviously, but I lost a lot of body fat. I did lose a decent amount of water weight, which was kind of shocking. Like, I just like flushed out like 10 pounds of water, and I felt way better because of it. My face wasn't as puffy and watery. I didn't feel as like heavy and slow because I had literally 10 pounds of water floating around in my body, dude. It was crazy. It just went away in that first 2 weeks or so. And, obviously there were some fluctuations after that point. But that's kind of the condensed version of that story, I guess. I can't really do it day by day because my memory isn't that great. I mean, we're talking over a year ago now. But that's kind of the story. And the lesson that I want to pull from that really is that I was willing to try it. I was really willing to try the carnivore diet. And that was actually, let me clarify. Like, that's kind of the story of how I went through it. And I guess that kind of summarizes, if you look at it from a 30,000 foot view, the reason why I tried it is just because I had an open mind. And that's the meta lesson that I want to share with you, is just have an open mind to try it. That's really why I tried it. It's because I had an open mind to try it out and give it the college try or whatever they say. I gave it a shot. And I think a lot of people who kind of diss on the carnivore diet, they've never actually tried it before. And if you have tried it and you've experienced it wasn't that great, I respect your opinion more than someone who just says, oh, it's bad for whatever reason, who hasn't actually tried it, because you don't know the firsthand experience. And after that point, I can also ask you, like, okay, did you account for this thing and that thing? Like, we can go deeper into why the diet might not have worked for you. And if you don't want to try it again, that's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not here to tell anyone to I'm not here to tell you how you should live your life. I'm just gonna suggest why you should try it, at least. Like, you don't have to do it for the rest of your life, okay? I recommend that you try it, but if you don't want to, that's totally up to you, okay? I'm not gonna force you to live your life the way I deem it fit, But yeah, I had an open mind. So to anyone out there who's made it this far in the video, just try it out. Try it for 30 days, okay? I'm gonna make a detailed course on how you can do it for 30 days from my 1 year experience. I'm going to try and distill it down, squeeze it for all of the juice that it has, my experience, and distill it down into kind of a step-by-step course that gets you to day 30 having basically nothing messed up. Now, there is some individual variation and results will differ. I mean, obviously, because everyone's a little bit different. But yeah, if you want to try that out and you need assistance, go check out the course that should be linked in the description. If not, if you don't want to do that, just try it for 30 days. It's pretty simple. Just eat meat, eggs, drink water. Don't have any plants or sugar or any of that nonsense. And just try it for 30 days and see how you feel. If you don't like it, then stop. And then you can yap about how you tried it and it sucked. Like, it's a win-win. It's literally a win-win. Like, if you try it and it works and everything is great, it benefits your life, okay, cool. Then you can continue that way. If it doesn't, like, this is to the people who detract from carnivore. Like, if you try it and it sucks, then you can say that you tried it and it sucks. It's literally a win-win. So try it out. Do it the right way, as most people will recommend it. See how you feel. See how it affects your health and your life. And then you can talk about it. Then you can share that. Like, I don't know why more of these people who diss on the carnivore diet actually don't try it. That doesn't make any, like, if you actually were to try it, and if it is as deleterious as people say, if you try it and it sucks, then say you tried it and then tell people how bad it sucked. So you can, but obviously you need to do it the right way, right? There are right and wrong ways to do the diet. Anyways, I'm done yapping. My car's getting a little humid and hot. I'm going to go buy some chicken, some rotisserie chicken, and I'm going to have a great time. So that's why I tried the carnivore diet. It's really just because I had an open mind and I wasn't super dogmatic. And that's why I'm willing to change in the future. I'm willing to try other things. Now, what I've learned, it kind of puts me in the context of like, I believe that this is generally the better path, more animal products, lower carbohydrate, but that understanding could change. And I'm willing and I'm open to change because I am young and I'm willing to change my opinion and my lifestyle. But with that, have an open mind. Try it out for 30 days. I'm going to make a course down in the description that you can check out for how to do low carb / carnivore for 30 days. Do it the right way so you can experience the benefits that you might have heard about and all those good things. So with that, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.